Welcome back to In the House with Beth and Ryan. I'm Beth, and this is Ryan.
Today we are going to take a look at the half-year market stats. Typically we do an annual review in October, but we thought that we would do a half-year mark because this year has been unusual in a lot of different ways, and there are some interesting numbers that have come out of the Guelph real estate market, and Beth and I pride ourselves on giving information that you usually can't find elsewhere. So we're going to talk a little bit today about how different neighborhoods have performed in the first half of the year and some of the changes we've seen there. But firstly, there is an interest rate announcement coming next week. What do you think?
July 24th, we're going to hear the next interest rate announcement. And I think I'm a glasses half full kind of person and thinking we're going to see a quarter point reduction.
And I don't think we are.
Let's hope that I'm right.
Yeah, and I think that maybe September, but I don't think July. I think it's 50-50 right now. But
yeah, I think that we're under a lot of pressure. The bank's under a lot of pressure to bring rates down for people with all those mortgages that are coming up for renewal in the fairly near future. And I think that it's going to be a slow and steady decline, and I think we're going to see that reduction happen.
We'll see. I just don't know if it's going to be that fast, but time will tell. It will come out next Wednesday morning.
And if statistics continue, statistically speaking, I'm right more often than Ryan is. So I think we're in a good spot.
Yeah. Okay. So in the first half of the year, we take a look at the number of houses that have sold and compare that to last year in totality. We'll talk a little bit about by area as well. Then we take a look at the overall dollar. So if you added up all of the houses together and all the sale prices, how much in dollars did this year sell for versus last year? And then the average price. And the average price has to be taken with a grain of salt because an average is simply that. So if more expensive homes sold last year and less expensive homes sold this year, it's going to bring the average down. But it's a guide.
Yes, and broadly speaking, if we kind of were to roll all the neighborhoods together before we unpack them, the general message is that inventory is up.
Yes.
Number of houses selling is down, and overall prices are also a little bit down.
Right, and that's an important note because the gap between what has been listed this year and what has sold this year is getting wider versus last year. So more on the market, less selling. The wedge is getting bigger, and when the wedge gets bigger, prices come down.
And did you I don't know if we looked at this or not, but I'm wondering if it's trending in one direction from January till now. That would be another interesting thing to take a look at.
It is pretty consistent month over month. So if you look at the sales in 2024 overall, they are just slightly below for the most part. There are some that are pretty close, but for the most part, we're trending slightly below whatever happened last year. So if 100 houses sold last year, we're selling 90 this year. And overall, the message is just that it is trending slightly lower. And last year, if we remember back to that period of time last year, the market was sort of in the same mentality we were at now, treading along.
I'm just thinking about last year again, as we are approaching the fall, not to fast forward through summer too fast yet, there's lots of summer ahead, but last fall was an incredibly slow and down market. And I do think that this fall compared to last fall, we may see things change a little bit.
Yeah, the gains will come in the second half of the year.
Yes, I agree.
That's for sure. So in the first half of the year, last year in Guelph, we sold an average of 6 houses a day and just over 1,000 in total. This year, we have sold,
I think it's 5.3.
5.3 houses per day on average. It doesn't seem like a lot, but in totality, per day, that all adds up. And the overall number of houses that have sold this year versus last year is a 12% decline. It's about 100 less houses.
Yeah.
And then we had some data that talked a little bit about where those houses were. And the gains, so neighborhoods that sold more houses than last year, despite the fact that the market is going down, we had 3 here. We have Downtown, the Village by the Arboretum, which came out really strong at the beginning of the year, and Kortright East, which is Kortright, the east side of Gordon Street.
Downtown was just a slight increase, around 12%, but the Village by the Arboretum and Kortright East were both over 50% higher. I think Kortright East or the village by the Arboretum was almost 70%.
Yeah, it was
It's
big
incredible.
numbers out of the gate in January and February, and then it's slowed down a little bit since then, but huge numbers off the start. But they were also very slow in the fall, so maybe it was just a bit of catch up, not sure. But the rest of the neighborhoods, Victoria North, Grange, Kortright West, Kortright Hills, Pine Ridge, Clearfields, all the downtown neighborhoods, Dovercliff, Willow, Riverside, they were all down. So it wasn't just one or two neighborhoods dragging the market down, it was the market in totality.
Here's a special guest.
Oh, so pretty.
Welcome.
Our teenager just rolled out of bed.
Yeah. Like many people, I'm sure, these days.
After a long weekend of soccer in Sault Ste. Marie.
Overall, dollar volume was down, so if you add all the houses together, it was down double digits as well, but the average price remained pretty strong at only -2 versus last year. There was also another news article that came out. Did you see the news article?
Which one are you talking about?
The one about the 3 best cities in Ontario?
No.
The 3 best cities in Ontario were...
Guelph?
Guelph was number 3.
Yes.
Number 1 was Ottawa. And number 2 was the region around Simcoe.
Interesting.
Yeah, I would never have thought that. But,
No.
But anyways, Guelph made the list of the top 3. I don't remember who it was, but we'll put it in the source notes of the YouTube video. If you haven't subscribed to our channel, we're very excited to say that we broke the 100 subscriber mark. We're at 102, so we're trying to get to
As our
110.
teenager rolls her eyes.
Yeah. So thanks again for watching, and as always, if you have any questions, you can find us at bethandryan.ca.
And enjoy the summer.